Hello, welcome to another interesting and fantastic class. Guess what? Today's topic is shadow. Yes, shadow. What's a shadow? A shadow is a dark area or shape produced by a body coming between rays of light and a surface. Yes, that's what a shadow is. Do you know that trees cast long shadows? If you look at a tree, it casts what? Long shadows. A shadow can also be defined as the absence of light. Light is a form of energy that travels in a straight line until it hits an object. If the object blocks the light from passing through it, that creates an area of darkness, which is a shadow on the other side. So, in simple terms, we can say a shadow is an image formed when light hits an object. Say it after me. Say a shadow is an image formed when light hits an object. Wow, what's this? Can you see a boy and a girl walking? But if you look at the ground, what are you seeing? Is this a monster? No. This is the shadow of the boy and the girl. Most time, when you're walking at night and you see some shadow, you become scared. Is this a monster? No, these are shadows. Now, how is a shadow formed? Let's learn proper. Shadows are made by blocking light. So when you block light, shadows are formed. Light rays travel from a source in a straight line. If an opaque object gets in the way, it stops light rays from traveling through it. This results in an area of darkness appearing behind the object. Woo! Well, if you look at this puppet, can you see the bright point light source shining on the puppet? Then a screen. What happens? You see the puppet shadow on the screen. I love puppet. Another form of light source is the sun. When the sun shines on any object, take for instance a block or a cube, when it shines on it, you see the shadow on the ground. Wow! Self-shadow, penumbra, umbra equals to what? Shadow. What shadow needs to be formed? So we need to learn what shadows need in order for them to be what? Formed. Number one, shadow needs a point source, which is also a light source. A point source is such a small light source that can be considered a point. All light rays depart from that point. Can you see the shadow, the umbra, the screen, and the illuminated area? Wow! So, for shadow formation, there should be a source of light. The sun, touch, and illuminate objects can produce light. Can you see the picture? The various light source, the bulb, the lamp, the torchlight, the fire, the sun, even insects can produce light. So all these are light source. So a shadow needs a light source in order for it to be what? Formed. Secondly, it needs an opaque object. Say opaque object. Yes, opaque object. An object that lets no light pass through it is called opaque. These objects are opaque because they do not allow light to pass through them. So rock, metals, wood, fog, aluminium, and foil, thick paper, and brick are what? All opaque objects. Now, let's look at some examples of opaque objects. Mirror, apple, brick, cup, can, stone, all these are opaque objects. Can you see this apple? The apple is what? An opaque object. When you shine a light on an opaque object, no light can pass through. So, Opaque objects are objects that do not allow light to pass through them. Do you know that opaque objects block light from traveling through them? Most of the light is either reflected by the object or absorbed and converted to the thermal energy. Materials such as wood, stones, and metals are opaque to visible light. Yes, they are opaque to visible light. The third one is screen on surface behind the object. Can you see this picture? The light source is fair and the screen. Wow! Can you see the screen? The screen casts what? Shadow. Wow, I hope you enjoyed today's class. I also enjoyed myself too. Now, I'm going to be asking you a question. What is an opaque object? Think about it. They are objects that do not allow light to what? Pass through them. Okay? So what's a shadow? A shadow is an image formed when light does not pass through an object. Now, I'll see you in our next class. I love you. Bye.